channel. I have something interesting to discuss. It is China, and I really encourage you guys to go ahead and watch this video. I will put a link in the description so you can go ahead and watch that video. It's a very interesting video. You know, a lot of people are too keen on uh, China reopening and all that stuff, and they think that inflation is going to come back and there's going to be a lot of demand. You know, that is not true at all. If you look at the China uh, consumer price index, that's what this guy in the video is discussing about. Is that, you know, Chinese spending is down 17% from pre-COVID. So what he's saying is that even though there is a reopening, the demand is coming down a lot. Spending is coming down. People aren't spending too much, especially when you look at Asian countries. I know because I'm from Asia, and when we go through a lot of hardship events like COVID, and even when there's reopening, we usually don't tend to go out and spend. We usually save it to just in case if there's another event that comes along or something like that, right? So that's basically what's going on. Is that yes, the people, it's just human psychology, you know, especially in China, uh, the, and most of the Asian countries, something goes wrong in the economy, and people have to, you know, uh, dig into their savings or whatever, and then even if the country reopens, you don't see a lot of economic activity because people are afraid that there might be another event that will come, and so they usually stay on the safe side and save more money. So spending drops, right? So that's deflation, and that's exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about slower spending, but in psychological world, what I'm saying makes sense 100% because you know if you go through hard times and there's a little bit of good times comes afterwards, then you're not going to go out there and spend all your money because you know what it's like to go through a hard time. So you're going to end up saving money instead of going out there and spend. It's nothing like the US. You know, US, we have stimulus and all these things. Uh, so when the US reopens, you see a lot of demand for goods and services, right? But it's totally different overseas. It doesn't really work that way. It's a different cultural, different everything, like different way of living. And usually people in the US don't really tend to save. You know, we go out there and spend it, especially when we're given free money. We just go out there and spend it like, you know, it's nothing. And we've seen that after they reopened the economy in 2021. You have a lot of supply chain issue and all these things. I don't know if they're real or not, but you know, it makes sense in a way where stuff is hard to find because China was shut down, and then there's a lot of people in the U.S. have a lot of money to spend because of stimulus. They're trying to spend it, and shortages comes and all these things. But that doesn't really work the same way overseas in Asia. So definitely go out there and watch this video because it's going to give you a much bigger picture in a global scale. You know, and a lot of people are thinking we're going to have higher oil prices for a long time. That's not true. As you can see, demand for Asia is slowing down. You know, China have about 6 times more uh, population than US. And if they're slowing down, definitely the demand for a lot of things are slowing down. Oil, uh, commodities, whatever, you know, it's going to slow down when people start saving. um, in China, whatever, they don't usually go out there and eat out all the time. Um, and then at the same time, what you're seeing in the U.S. is inflation is slowing down at the same time due to demand problems. Inflation isn't slowing down because they fix the supply chain, or I mean, yes, supply chain is getting better, but at the same time, you have slowing demand, right? Supply chain is getting better, but you have no demand. So what that means is you have a lot more inventory uh, on your hand, and you're trying to get rid of it. A lot of retailers have a lot of inventory. What that means is they're going to discount a lot of things just so they can get rid of it, and that's going to cause deflation, lower prices. Same thing in oil. Even though you see a bump in services in the service sector, you're going to see demand falling in oil too as well. And that's why you see ExxonMobil and all these oil companies selling a lot of their assets um, in the past few months. You could actually go out there and look it up yourself. These companies are selling their assets, cutting costs, not because uh, they're trying to improve their business. They're doing these things because they see the slowdown in the economy, so that when this economy actually really slow down, then they're actually prepared for it. They're prepared for a slowdown in the economy, and that's what it is. And despite that, you see stock prices going up, which it shouldn't. Like Disney, they said they're going to cut costs and stuff, but they see that going forward in the next quarter or two, they see that there's going to be a lot of demand destruction. It's because wages aren't keeping up to uh, keep up with the inflation that we have. Even though it's slowing down, wages still aren't keeping up. So we have those kind of problems in the economy, and a lot of people think commodity prices are going to continue to go up, and I don't think so. You know, I think that the lower demand for goods and services is going to fix this inflation issue. So so I think there's a lot more downside to go when it comes to stock prices and commodity prices. I think commodity prices will start to go down in a big way in the next couple of months, maybe 2, 3 months. We have to wait and see uh, how the next quarter, the current quarter earnings are going to be, because Q1 uh, earnings for 2023 is going to set the tone for the economy. Whether the demand is really slowing down or it's just a little bump on the road, right? Slow down a little bit and then go much further uh, up, right? But I think, in my opinion, demand globally, the demand is slowing down. If China is slowing down, you're going to see the rest of the world slow down too as well. And you're seeing a lot of countries slowing down as far as economy goes, like as far as economic goes. Um, Thailand, I just read an article about Thailand, how their exports are slowing down at a rapid rate. So, they're not exporting as much. What does that mean when they're not exporting? We import so much from overseas. And if they're down on exports, that means that people in the demand in the U.S. isn't strong enough for them to export a lot of stuff. So if they're down in exports, the demand in the U.S. is down, and pretty much likely around the world. So like I said, go watch this video. It's very interesting. He's giving you facts. World's economy is slowing down, and inflation will slow down, and along with stocks uh, in the midterm. So I see a very strong downturn in the economy pretty soon. followed by the stock market. So that's it for this video, and I will talk to you guys later.